Hi everyone, I am Rajesh Kumar. I am having close to 16 plus years of experience in DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. I have worked with more than 12 software organizations around the globe. I would like to introduce you all a DevOps School's flagship certification program in DevOps, SRE and DevSecOps. This program will get started in the weekends, so get enrolled. Please contact us on the phone number given on the screen, and in fact you can email us on the contact at the rate of devopsschool.com.
Okay, so we are going to discuss about what is SRE. So I think most of you have gone through the DevOps session. That means what is DevOps. Now we are focusing on SRE. So what is SRE? So here we have a three word: site, reliability, engineering. So site means your applications, right? Your application which is running in the production. That is should be understood. That means if you're not working in production, then you're not a SRE. You should be taking care of the production instance, production server, the application, which can be any language, any technology, but you should be maintaining the production servers, production applications. That's called site. Reliability means it's a one keyword, but it has a multiple meaning of it. To make it the system, an application reliable, you have to do a hell lot of things, not one thing. So that is the objective. You as an individual or team, you need to make your website reliable. And for that, reliable in terms of availability, reliable in terms of uh, you know uh, uh, security, reliable in terms of scalability, and many things you have to make it reliable. So your end user should not get impacted. And third keyword which we have, engineering. So uh, engineering means it's like a developer approach, engineer's approach. Okay, you cannot say I'm an admin. Admin here we are not trying to say administrator approach or operation approach. Operation means that is not a development, right? Uh, Engineering means development approach. And when you bring the development approach, what does that mean? Anyone have idea when you said development approach? What do you think, all of you?
It's the
Hello.
same thing which follows the software lifecycle, SDLC.
Mm, mm,
That's called the development. So it goes like every phase of development. If it's agile, it follows the agile model. But again,
mm,
it will follow in any one of the model for development. That's called the
mm.
development, and
So
it's in the base
engineering,
engine.
right? Yeah. Someone else was also saying that. What was that?
Maybe it's following agile model.
Yeah. So engineering here means development, and development means you have to plan your work, you have to code, you have to develop your work, and you have to test work, and this you have to keep doing it. So if you think you're in ops or earlier administrator, whatever it is, we are migrating to SRE because you want to change the approach of development. I mean, in ops also, you have to start coding. Actually, you have to start coding. You have to automate everything. Without automation, cannot be done without a coding. So engineering means you have to become engineer, not ops. Engineer means plan, code, test. These are the things, everything you have to do in the operations also. So this is called SRE, Site Reliability Engineering. So reliability, as I said, you need to bring availability, probability, durability, dependability, quality over time. So these are the things which you need to bring it and of your site. So what is SRE? So it's an approach to operations which uses software. Sorry, it's an approach to operation which uses software as the primary tool for managing system. So overall is approach to operations. What approach? That we'll discuss here. So approach means, engineering means you have to plan. In operations also you have to plan, you have to develop, you have to design, you have to test, you have to deploy, you have to maintain. So these are the approach. This is the approach you need to bring in the operations team also through SRE. So SRE is what happens when you ask a software engineer to design an operation team. It's a very simple definition by Benjamin. So earlier this approach was not there. We used to call it ops. So if you remember some of the characteristics of ops team, then they're very scared of the new changes. Sorry, they don't want any new changes. They want the system to be available, stable, but they don't want the new changes. But development want new changes every time, new bugs, new fixes, new features, and all. So we need to migrate ops to SRE, and we need to change their approach, an approach which I was discussing here. So SRE will help you to bring the approach of planning, design, development, all this thing in this SRE also. So what is the responsibility of an SRE organization? So yeah, we understood that availability, performance, incident management, and monitoring, these are the primary approach responsibility. So what are the activities of an SRE? So yeah, you have to again, I've been saying every time, if you remember that in DevOps also I said you have to write a code. There's no way we can skip the code. Every day I get a call. Uh, People get a number from different sources, and I got a call, and they say like, "Hey, I want to learn DevOps," and most of the time is from uh, you know uh, from South India, and they want to learn DevOps. They want to get certified on DevOps, and when I ask why you want to learn DevOps, only because of high salary which is people are getting. And then when I ask, okay, can you write a code, little bit of code, and say no, I don't want to write a code, I don't like to write a code. uh, and This is what. And when I say a simple statement like you have to write a code, you need to write a code in DevOps, SRE, everywhere you need to write a code, you have to need to learn that code. Then immediately they say like, okay, probably I need to look for some different courses. So this is something which is happening. So people should, you know, have this kind of, I mean, they should lock their minds like without writing a code, we cannot be performing any role in the software domain now, including SRE, including DevOps. So people have assumptions like they'll just click on Jenkins job, just they'll click on Jenkins job and configure some UI, and they'll be DevOps, and companies will be paying a lot of money for them. So that concept should be corrected, need to be corrected. But still, there's lots of stereotypes in the domain right now. So we need to write a code for that. We have to be on call. We need to lead war rooms, perform post-mortem, automate everything, and implement best practices. So here also you have to set your mindset. Uh, you know, you have to write a code. There's no other workaround for it. Are you understanding, all of you?
So, Rajesh, can you give us some examples like what exactly as a SRE we need to automate?
Yeah. So I'll put it in this way. So if you don't want to automate, or if you want to automate. So if you want to automate everything, let me put it in this way. You want to automate everything in terms of deployment. So you want to automate everything for implementing the security. You want to automate everything for the audit check. You want to automate everything in terms of uh, in terms of uh, patching. You want to automate everything in terms of implementing the monitoring, which is I call it I mean not I call it. Everyone's nowadays call it observability. So now, how do you automate this one? Anyone? Let's say deployment you want to automate. How do you do that? How do you do
Normally,
that?
automation will be taken care by DevOps engineer, right? Not SRE. The deployment scripts creation and everything. There will be dedicated DevOps team who does that
Uh,
work.
no, why can't you do the work? I mean, I'll discuss about the DevOps versus SRE in some time. But why can't you do that work?
So there is a dedicated team who does that one. What is the necessity to do as a SRE to automate that?
That is a mindset. That is a mindset, and we need to. In fact, I was having this mindset. That's the mindset. So here, uh, you can say it's the stereotype. Uh, there is a team who will do that, but what I'm going to do that? So that's where the Google has come and they said, hey, we need to change something. So DevOps, for many reasons, did not work actually. I'll put it in this way. Uh, DevOps demand everything to be done by one team. Mind it, one team. So you want to, remember that I was giving you one statement here just to, uh, set the mindset. Like if you can call yourself a DevOps, only and only when you can write a code for the product. Are you? Code for the product. Or you can call a DevOps only if you are writing code for testing the product. Or third thing, if you can call yourself as a DevOps, if you're writing a code, again code, for the CI/CD deployment operations and this, that, and all. And then only you can call a DevOps. Okay. So DevOps is doing everything, including SRE work actually. CI/CD deployment operations and all. Are you understanding?
Yes, Raj.
So DevOps is a one team, but you know what has happened over the period of time? No one has, I mean, very few projects has implemented the real DevOps, and DevOps got failed. Implementation has become very challenging when you want to implement the DevOps. It's a good thing, but many people, just like you said, no, hey, there is a dev team who will do this one. There is a DevOps team who will do that. We are not supposed to do that or something like that. Or I just said, no, I am getting a call and said, I don't want to write a code, but I want to become a DevOps engineer. The fundamental of DevOps engineering, like you have to do everything being in a team. Everything, including coding, coding for the product, coding for the testing the product, coding for infrastructure, CI/CD, monitoring, operations, everything you have to do. That's a DevOps. So in SRE, I'll discuss what is the difference between SRE and DevOps in some time. You need to write a code, be on call, lead a war room, and things like that. So what are the function of SRE engineering? So we have three major functions. One is eliminating toil, managing a risk. Third one, handling failures. I'll put it in a simple way. Toil means any work which is manual and repetitive, we need to automate it. Very simple. Toil means any work which is manual, can be automated, so need to be automated. Managing risk means uh, because you are in a production environment, so you must be having SLA, SLI, and SLI, and SLO, and you have to make sure that you are managing that risk. So anyone would like to comment what is SLA, SLI, and SLO? Anyone?
SLIs are like key performance indicators. That is what the indication is, I guess. SLO is like mostly like objectives, what we are going to do. And for that, we need the indicators. And we need to set for that either it's application level or the component level or even the uptime level. So that's what I guess
Yeah.
about SLO.
SLA means
A service level agreement. It's between you and the party you are supporting.
client.
It could be either upstream or downstream, whoever it is.
Yeah. And handling failures, incident management, and post-mortem. That means any issues which has been reported in the production, you have to work on it, those incident and post-mortem, and then come out of the solution, proper solution. So these are the major functions of SRE team. Okay, so comparing traditional ops and SRE. So look at this. This is a good slides. So here, ops team. Let's say you're ops team. You're managing a production, and business team. You can say CEO, CTO, management team, and all. They demand the ops team give me reliability. Now that means ops team will give reliability, so they don't like to have changes. Remember that ops team don't like a new changes, because new changes comes again it will break because of many other reasons also. So ops team don't like a new changes very often. Let's say if you say ops team, hey, I want to release today this one, by evening that one, and day after tomorrow this one. Ops team will say no. So it's like we have a reliability issues and all. I cannot do just like that. It will take just two small changes also. It will take a lot of time for ops team, because they are traditionally mindsets like that. Development team, that they love to code, and then they love to uh, you know bring new features or something like that. So business team wants the development team new stuff, and same time business team wants from operations team reliability. That means give me the reliability. So when, see, there's a conflict of interest here. Ops team, in order to give the reliability, they avoid the changes, new things, and development team, because they are supposed to give always new code, new feature, new this, that, and all, they do that. So here, when integration comes for the ops team versus development team, ops team say, hey, no thanks, I don't want new things. But development team, hey, you have to give the new things all based, because business team is demanding. So this is the conflict of interest, I mean objective. Are you able to understand this?
Yeah, Rajesh, but why don't they involve ops team as well, the business? They need to
And that's
consider
called,
them also.
and that's SRE, right?
Okay, yeah,
Involving ops team with the development, that's SRE.
okay.
Correct? You sum up the entire session actually. So here there is a development team, there is a SRE ops team. So development team will do design, development, testing, and acceptance. Support team will do support, maintenance, capacity planning, and all. And they will only integrate during the delivery. That means development have no idea about ops team, how they perform, what is their environment, and all stuff like that. Ops team have no idea what are the new initiatives been taken in the development team, what is their environment, what are the dependency, what are the techs, and all stuff like that. So only they connect through the delivery, and that is where they share the information. That's the one time. So both the teams here, different goals, different skill set, different tools, no common ground. That's a challenge. So yeah, ops team here, you have a black box delivery. Black box delivery means no design input, automation options are limited, and you do the infrastructure level monitoring. Limited agency means post acceptance, go or no go decisions, conflict guaranteed. After the event, mandated service level and reactive supports, not proactive support, reactive support. So these are some of the characteristics of the ops team, the older team, which you have it. Okay, so now we need to bring the SRE approach and migrate from the ops team. See here, We are just changing ops team to SRE team. So same team today you have ops team, and then tomorrow you call it SRE team. So the question is, how can we convert the ops team into SRE team? And I said initially, if you remember that, it's approach. That's all. It's approach. So your ops team will become SRE team when you involve SRE team during the development design also. Design also. I'm not saying like SRE team will design your software, but you should involve in it. So let's say one product I'm developing, I have a plan to develop, and I'm designing that one. So we should involve SRE team so they will also know, okay, maybe they are developing today, and in next 1 month this product might come up, okay, in the production. So I will plan accordingly. Instead of meeting up only after the development, they are involved in the initial phase of design and then development and testing. So they'll get to know each and everything about the new changes. And when the time has come for delivery, then SRE team is saying, hey, I have all the ideas about your product. I was prepared for this. Within within a few hours, a few minutes, or some time, I can make it live because we are already comfortable with it. We have all idea what are the number of server needed, how much RAM needed, how much CPU needed, what is the language, what are the runtime dependencies, what are the securities, what are the endpoints, what are the everything. Getting my points, all of you? All of you? So SRE ops team will become SRE team when you involve in a design, development, acceptance testing, and the same time SRE team also need to involve development team during the support and a capacity planning. So that is where when we start working together and involving each other with a right communication integrations, then your ops team will become SRE team suddenly. So it's just an approach. Any inputs here?
Yeah, Rajesh. So, like, if we the design team, like, you cannot go and directly design any component until otherwise you understand the necessity of it, right? So, basically, when business gives the requirement, how that will be converted into the technical aspect of design. So, is this something where SRE can give the input on it, or
Yes,
like
yes.
they?
SRE team will give input during the design and development. SRE team say, hey, this is what our environment is. This is what our limitation is. This is how we run that. So all
Okay.
this during the design itself, because you are involving in it. So last moment surprise will not be there. Saying that, hey, you develop this software blindly, but we have a different ecosystem in the production, and we can accommodate it, but it will take time, and the time is very important thing. We are learning DevOps and SRE just to save time. We want to make it the application in the production as soon as possible. That's where we are learning all these processes.
Okay.
So
So,
that is SRE.
Rajesh, actually, developers will develop the application, right? Really, SRE team, if they really take some task and really they work with along with developers, then only they will get good idea. Simply,
Yes.
I'm not really getting involvement. Means what exactly the SRE involvement in the development? They
So
need to
SRE
take
involve.
some tasks, then they need to actively work with the development team. Then only they can gain knowledge around the code or whatever it may be. Do,
Yes, that is what precisely Google is also saying. Ops team, the moment you involve, see, get coding and involving two different things. For example, uh, here coding will be done by development team, of course. But let's say if I tell you, let's say you are a earlier ops team, and for the whole month I will not share with you anything until the development is completed, or some other way. I'll keep telling you, hey, we are developing this module, is going to get completed in 1 month. This is the language, this is the dependency, this is the library we need it, this many traffic is expected, all this stuff. Okay, these are the CPU requirement, RAM requirement, disk requirement, a platform, you have a Kubernetes or AWS or Azure or whatever it is, I'll keep sharing all the information. So you will be prepared for it. You have a sufficient time for preparation. And that is what involvement needed actually. And acceptance testing, let's say, testing team is testing the software, and SRE team is involved with it, and they say, hey, these are the primary features, and this is how we have to make it. You have to test it, and these are the output you get it. So they can also do the same thing in the production. So to check sanity and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
got it.
it's just integration required. I mean, just involvement required. SRE team is not supposed to do the development testing and all, but only the information required. So they will be prepared in advance in the production. So here, when you SRE team when works with a development team, development works team with a SRE team. Again, development team will work with SRE team for the support and capacity planning. So they will share their own expertise and all, and so support can be more precisely capacity. Like say, lots of issues is coming up in the SRE team. So now they will involve development team, so there will be that faster resolutions for the work. So only that earlier the ops team were not involved or very limited involved. Now SRE team will involve with the dev, and dev will involve with SRE team very proactively. So here agreed delivery, ongoing design input, extended automations, options, user focused monitoring, full agency, which include dev team support, stop deployments, hand back to pager after the events, agreed several service levels, limited support time, and so on. So now let's try to compare DevOps versus SRE. So look at this here. I told you, I've been telling you, DevOps means only one team will give you two things: reliability, same time new stuff. So it's a one team only. But it didn't work out because of many reasons. Just now you said no, there is a DevOps team, there's a development team, there is a ops team or SRE team. That means this is not a DevOps at all. So DevOps means there's only one team who will do everything. But here there is a challenge. No new feature until we have automated the release process. So the fundamental concept of DevOps, like you have to automate everything. CI/CD, if you remember the concept. But DevOps team is saying, hey, you have to wait for the new features because we are automating everything. Waiting time. Or we think the app's down, so we are adding more monitoring. We all are in a DevOps training for this week, and many reasons. So business get impacted because of this. Because you are expecting 5 teams like a architect team, development team, testing team, operations team, everyone you are merging into the DevOps team. So they need a little bit of time to adjust. But business wants the more features for the market competitions and all, and new stuff. So here if you see, the DevOps team is supposed to do everything from design, development, testing, acceptance testing, delivery, support, maintenance, capacity planning, which has a shared code, overlapping skill set, consistent tools, common basics. Whereas you see, development team and SRE team will be separate team, but shared values, shared goals, overlapping skill set, and so on. So DevOps did not, DevOps is a very good thing if it get implemented, but for many reasons, many organizations fail to implement the DevOps. And that is where the Google has come up and said, hey, let's do one thing. Let's not convert the ops team into DevOps because there'll be lots of challenges actually. So rather than going into the DevOps phase and you experience lots of challenges, failure, let's try to convert first, to do one thing, convert the ops team into SRE team and let SRE team and development team work together for some time And when you feel they are working very closely, then you can migrate immediately, convert into the DevOps, because DevOps is a very good thing.
If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.